It was supposed to be an ordinary morning, a familiar route, a familiar bus, a town just waking up. At 7:18 a.m., a yellow school bus slowed near an intersection it had crossed thousands of times before. By 7:23 a.m., the town of Riverton would never be the same. No one screamed for help in advance. No warning was broadcast. No one saw it coming. This is the story of the morning routine that shattered and the investigation that followed. Riverton is the kind of town where routines matter. School buses run on time. Neighbors recognize each other's cars. Anything out of place is noticed. That's why what happened on October 4th was so difficult to process, because this wasn't a crime that unfolded in secret. It happened in public, in daylight, along a road children traveled every weekday. And yet, almost nothing about it made sense. Bus Route 12 served Riverton's east side. 23 students, one driver, a route unchanged for nearly a decade. The driver, Thomas Hale, was 54 years old, experienced, reliable. No disciplinary history. The morning weather was clear. Traffic was light. Nothing unusual was reported. At 7:11 a.m., the bus left the depot. At 7:16 a.m., it made its final scheduled pickup. Then something happened that no one on the route was prepared for. At 7:18 a.m., traffic footage shows the school bus approaching a four-way intersection. The bus slows, then stops. Not at a sign, not for traffic. It stops in the middle of the road. Cars behind it hesitate. Drivers assume it's mechanical. Then the camera captures something else, a figure approaching from the right side of the frame. The footage is grainy. The moment is brief, but investigators later say, this is where everything changed. At 7:19 a.m., the first 911 call comes in, not from the bus, from a driver several cars back. There's something wrong, the caller says. The school bus just stopped, and people are panicking. Seconds later, another call, then another. Dispatchers struggle to understand what's happening. No one uses the word attack. No one fully understands yet. By 7:20 a.m., police units are dispatched. The first officer arrives at 7:23 a.m. The footage shows chaos, but not violence. Cars stopped at odd angles, people standing frozen. The bus, motionless. The officer approaches slowly. What they find inside will later be described in reports as overwhelming. The footage cuts before details are visible. Investigators later confirm multiple victims. The town's worst fear has just become reality. Nearby business security camera. 3 blocks away, a security camera captures a man walking quickly. He removes a jacket, drops it into a trash bin, and keeps moving. Police release the footage within hours. By evening, the suspect is identified. He is not a stranger. He lived less than a mile from the route. What shocked investigators most was not who he was, but how little anyone suspected him. As detectives reconstruct the timeline, a troubling picture forms. The suspect had no children on the bus, no known disputes with the school district, no criminal record. Friends describe him as quiet. Neighbors say he kept to himself. Investigators search for a motive. They don't find one, not immediately. And that absence becomes one of the most disturbing elements of the case. Riverton shuts down. Schools close indefinitely. Vigils fill the town square. Yellow ribbons appear on every block. Parents replay the morning again and again. Why that day? Why that bus? Why that intersection? Grief counselors are brought in. So are state investigators. But answers remain painfully incomplete. Months later, the case goes to trial. The evidence is strong. The verdict is swift. But for the town, closure never comes. Because understanding how it happened doesn't explain why. And that question lingers long after the courtroom empties. Why was the bus targeted? Could anything have stopped it? Were there warning signs no one recognized? Investigators say the timeline shows no failure, only speed, a crime that unfolded too fast for intervention, and a reminder that even the safest routines can fracture without warning. That morning began like every other. The bus ran on time. The route was familiar, and no one, not the driver, not the students, not the town, saw it coming.